Hello, welcome back to another episode of the Luna Pod. Before you get listening to this episode, we need to do a little disclaimer.
And kind of apologize for how this one sounds.
We recorded this episode 4 months ago, and it was probably at like 5 in the morning, and we were so tired. So the energy, especially at the beginning, is a little bit low, but stick with us. Honestly, I feel like this episode would be a good like sleepy time episode.
Yeah, like listen to this one before you go to bed.
That's fun. Anyway, enjoy the episode.
Hi, welcome to the Luna Pod, where we talk all things K-pop. I'm Brooke.
And I'm Raquel, and today we are going to be doing our concert review for Stray Kids. So we were originally supposed to see Stray Kids forever ago. Like, what was it, 8 months ago?
Yeah, and I honestly feel like this was one of the first concerts we bought freaking tickets to, but it was just so delayed, so we've seen so many people in between, like, that time frame.
We've just been waiting forever.
We've been waiting a long time.
Yeah, because we had originally bought it way back, whatever 8 months ago was. I can't even remember.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, right when they were coming around, I swear it was maybe a week before our concert.
No, I'm not even kidding.
It was the night
I'm not kidding. It was the night before. Like, we were about to go to bed and be like, okay, like, we're gonna wake up in the morning and go to the airport.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not kidding. It was that close.
Oh my gosh, yes. And they ended up having to cancel because so many of the
like 2 or 3
got
of them.
COVID. Yeah.
Yeah.
They got COVID, and so they, instead of just not having them on stage, there was so many of them sick, they just fully canceled both our concert and Fort Worth. A couple of months ago, they did release that they were going to come back around and redo those concerts for us. We were so happy. We told each other right from the beginning, we're not selling these tickets. The second they come around for a redo, we will be there.
Yep, just hang on to those tickets.
Right.
This time, since it's in Atlanta, we've been there many times, we were going to be smart about it. We were going to actually stay in a hotel this time.
Yeah.
Because we typically just decide to get an extremely early flight the next day and hang out at the airport waiting for our flight. Horrible.
We will
Horrible decision.
go more into this. Yeah, we will go more into this in our other concert reviews because we have had so many things happen to us in Georgia. It's just insane. And so we were smart this time. And I feel like this experience was way better. Mm-hmm. So we got up for the airport. It was great timing for the airport. We drove there, saved money, kept our car at the airport instead of Ubering. And then we took shuttles from the airport to the hotel.
Yeah, that's a little tip. So if you're trying to stay at a hotel for a concert, do one close enough to the airport where they offer a shuttle, because then you don't have to pay for Ubers like to and from the hotel and to and from the arena. You'll save money that way.
And then we only had to Uber to the arena from our hotel. It ended up being a way better experience. Probably my favorite Atlanta experience that we've had.
so far.
And we were able to get ready in the hotel and even got to film some fun videos before we went to the concert, which stay tuned, check out our TikTok for some of those. But yeah, great experience overall. Because this was such an anticipated concert, we were so ecstatic to see them, and it felt surreal. It was like,
It's definitely one of the biggest groups that we've seen live.
Yeah, like the most popular, I guess. We've been waiting for so long to see them that I think my brain was still just kind of convinced, like, oh yeah, we'll see them soon. As
I know, I felt like
we
were going to see someone else.
Yeah, but they were absolutely incredible, and it was such a good concert. I honestly burst into tears multiple times when it would hit me really randomly that we were actually seeing Stray Kids. I didn't cry during the actual concert, which is surprising to me.
I teared up when they came out, like the first time, but other than that, I didn't actually like fully cry.
Yeah, I teared up during the pre-songs before they even stepped a foot on stage. And I think I also teared up during when we were waiting in line for our light sticks, which we did decide to get light sticks this concert because we are forming a bit of a light stick addiction.
Which is an issue. Also, these light sticks, love them, but everyone was having issues with them. Like, you couldn't hook them up to the app to change colors.
Yeah,
but also
it was just white.
So that was kind of upsetting, but overall, love it. I love the little spinning compass.
The spinning is so fun. And it's kind of a smaller light stick, so it's just so cute.
It is.
It's like a little one. Also, trying to get these light sticks. So we stepped up to this arena, and this woman on the side of the street was like, hey, you want to get in a shorter line? And I was like, ma'am? I was like, is this a scam? Like, what is happening? And then I saw that she had a badge and a radio, and I was like, okay, wait, maybe I trust you. So I was like, yes, of course I want a shorter line. So she took us way underground, and we followed this guy, like a different guy, through the parking lot to this tunnel area, which was gate 3, I believe. It was like really hidden away, and stood in a way shorter line. So that was really nice. And we only had to stand there for a little while. We had assigned seats this time. They were nosebleeds.
Yeah, we were up there.
Yeah, which again, we bought these tickets forever ago, so we didn't really...
I feel like we didn't think about it.
No, we didn't.
But this is also one of the ones where we kind of just had to grab whatever we could get because tickets were selling fast.
Yeah. Luckily with the assigned seats, we didn't have to camp or anything, so we didn't camp, and we were in this shorter line, and we were like, we are going to beeline to the merchandise stand so that we can get these light sticks, because we decided that is something we have to have. And we got there.
We were line hopping.
Oh my gosh, the first one we got into was so long, and so we were like, nope, let's book it to the next one. We ran around this entire stadium until we got to the very last merchandise, and we could actually see the merchandise stand from where we were at in line. We were like, okay, this one we're gonna stay in. Stay in. And it was so cool. We just got to see like all the stays' outfits as they were walking by. There was this one stay who had this white, what was it? A white suit on, and then there was red ropes like glued all over. It looked amazing. Stay outfit of the day.
Yeah, that one was really good. I love whenever people do like music video references, and that was the best one.
Oh yeah, especially for red lights, like iconic. Yeah, that was really cool. We got our light sticks, we sat down. It was a really good experience overall.
And before the show, we always kind of review the set list to know what we're about. Yeah, to know what we're about to get into. For Stray Kids, do not trust the set list. Like so many times like in concerts, they're like, oh, do you know what the next song is? And we usually guess it right because we cheat and look at the set list beforehand. They were just fooling us. Like they were literally just going so off script and but it keeps it fun.
And I was kind of worried beforehand, even looking at the set list. We were their first stop in America. Before this, I believe they were in Australia. So we were the first stop. So I was like, ooh, the set list might change anyways. Was not expecting it to change that much.
Yeah.
But they were doing really good at making every single concert have something different in it. So starting off, let's talk about our biases going into the concert before we saw them live, because sometimes this can change when you go to a concert.
Happened to us before. So going in, mine was Changbin.
I mean, in our previous episode, we've stated he is boyfriend material for you. He is very high up there, so that's understandable. I have had such a hard time picking a Stray Kids bias ever since I got into Stray Kids, which was the beginning of time for me. So I've been all over the place. I didn't really know, but Jungin has really been piquing my attention the past couple months, honestly.
Yeah.
And so I went in with an unsturdy bias of IN. But let's get right into the concert in general.
And if you're into Stray Kids, you know their music in general is just very powerful, so their performances are going to very much match that. And honestly, the best stages were Thunderous, Charmer, God's Menu, of course, and the surprise Superboard.
Oh my gosh, we were not expecting.
We weren't.
Superboard is one of my favorite songs, and I was really, really hoping, but my hopes were low because I'm like, they've never done it before, like, you know, I'm not expecting it. But then out of the blue, they do Superboard. I was ecstatic. So that was a very fun surprise.
I had high expectations for Charmer. That was, like, for this concert, that was the one you couldn't, like, hide from spoilers.
Yeah.
I was not mad about it. I watched every video, and then I enjoyed it just as equally live. It was so good. As a Changbin girl, Charmer Changbin was everything I needed it to be.
Yeah.
Another highly anticipated one was Red Lights, but OT8 version.
That is the best thing to ever exist.
I'm so, like, I love a unit stage, but if you're gonna do, like, change it up and make it an OT, this was the best one to do that for. Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry, they are on stage with these, like, wraps around their neck. They've got red lights lighting up the entire stage. Insane.
Unfortunately, with our nosebleeds, and we were to the side as well, so nosebleed to the side. Our review of this honestly was not best. I feel like even though, like, yes, I was there and I experienced it, I didn't experience it to its full potential. A lot of it was blocked by, like,
the
mechanics.
Stage. Yeah, they had these big fancy things coming from the ceiling, but they never went up. So it was just kind of stuck in the middle to where we couldn't even see the screens on the side of the stage, which was really unfortunate. So during this stage specifically, it was really hard to see them dancing because they were further back on the stage and these equipment was so in the way.
Another thing that kept getting in the way was our fellow stay. I don't know if this is a nosebleed thing.
No, because we've been in nosebleeds before, and I swear.
That's true. So many people were standing up mid-song and, like, walking away. Like, either going to the bathroom or going to concessions. I don't know. I don't care what you're doing. Please do not get up in the middle of a song.
And
it would happen during the chorus too.
Yes, the peak part of the song, and not only during the peak part of the song, during God's Menu, one of their biggest songs, during the peak chorus of God's Menu, this woman is getting up on these tiny, this is a small area, you all have to stand up and squeeze by each other.
Yeah.
So we are like, we cannot see the main part. Oh, it was so frustrating.
Yeah, so if you ever need to go do something during a concert, please wait until, like, the song is over or they're out there just talking, like, so you're not missing a performance. Like, I don't know, like, that was just really upsetting.
Yeah, or getting in someone's way during the song, because it's like, I understand you might just be there supporting a child or like something like that. You can wait 1 minute, 2 minutes for a song to end. That was so frustrating, and it really kind of ruined some of the experience.
Yeah, because we already didn't have the best view because of our seats, and then that, like, I don't know, took away a bit.
Talking about more songs though, when Lonely Street came on, I'm pretty sure we both started screaming. You may not know this. We absolutely love Lonely Street because it started off as kind of a joke.
I feel like we made, like, a meme out of it between ourselves and just, I don't know, like, I was just cracking up the second they started the song.
Yes.
And I was very into it, and we were both screaming the lyrics. It was really fun.
It's one of those classic, like, it started as a joke, but I don't think it's a joke anymore. It's one of those. And if you go back, we do have an episode called The Maniac Delusion where we kind of talk about our first listen. If you listen to that, you'll kind of understand when we first listened to this album, and it'll kind of explain more of why this was a joke to us. But not a joke in a bad way. I honestly love the song, but we had just turned it into a meme. And so that was such a fun song to see live. Absolutely love that one. And I feel like it's one that it's really easy to sing along with.
Yeah. Something that they had was a live band. Personally, I haven't been to a K-pop concert with a live band, and I don't know, anyone listening correct me, but I don't know, like, many that are doing that, if that makes sense. It added so much to it. Like I said earlier, they are a very powerful group, like, with their songs and performances, so that added so much to their stages, and I'm like, I love that they did that, and I honestly hope more people start doing that.
Me too. One of my favorite parts about live music is that you can feel the bass in your seat, and adding live instrumentals like that really adds to that.
With the whole set list switch up, they changed out side effects for Freeze. Not mad about it.
No, I'm not mad about it either.
Loved Freeze.
Another fun thing that they did, they had 2 unit songs. So the vocal unit decided to do Waiting for Us, and the rap unit did Muddy Water. Now, Waiting for Us, the vocalists were amazing.
Before they performed this song, they kind of stated that the purpose of it was that they were waiting for this moment with Stays to be, like, in the crowd and have a sea of their light sticks, which was really cute.
They did have this little group battle type of thing, so at the end of the songs they had us scream and vote for which one did better. I personally enjoyed the vocal unit song better. That is a very personal opinion right there, but Muddy Water was also really good, and surprisingly, again, if you listen to our Maniac Delusion video, Muddy Water is...
I prefer it more now than we did when we originally listened to it.
Agreed.
Basically.
And it was really fun listening to it live.
Yeah, it was a fun one.
Muddy Water did end up winning the group unit battle, and I think part of that is because really popular biases are in this group. Like, you've got Hyunjin, Felix, Changbin, and Han.
Now, though we had our nosebleeds and the view wasn't best, I feel like we had an interesting view of the stage in general. We saw the stairs that they would take going backstage and coming onto stage.
Yeah.
That stressed me out. There were 2 times where it was delayed coming up, and I'm like, please, boys, like, be aware of, like, where you are on stage enough to know that the stairs are not up and you cannot walk over them.
Right, because the stairs would go up and down from underneath the stage. They'd be coming from under the stage.
And there was the other time, it literally wouldn't close all the way. And so they dropped it a few times and then waited for them to change position, fully dropped the stairs and brought it all all the way back up so that it would be closed and like flat for them to use. But I don't know, it was stressing me out.
Again, it was just because our specific seats and our view, I don't think many people could see that, but we were watching the stairs like wobble. We're like, please don't step backwards.
We could see all their positions like marked on stage, which was cool. But there were these areas of the stage that we could see marked out, and we didn't realize at the time, but they were like mini elevated stages that they could have it like tiered, a staircase, which was really cool.
It was so cool to see that. That was a cool stage thing in general, but then from our view as well, very cool to see. They were like hopping around it too. There was one point Han was literally spinning down the stairs, and again, giving me a little bit of a heart attack. I was so worried he was going to misstep and fall. They also did a lot of really fun things during this concert, which I think out of all the concerts we've been to, it was very interactive with the fans. They were very fun and playful with us. An example of this was when they were backstage getting ready, they decided to do games with Stays on the big screens. One of them was they played red light, green light, and they also had random dance challenges, and then they also had a cheer meter.
Yeah, to come back out.
Yeah, which we were laughing during this because you could just watch the cheer meter move and people would get really loud and we were getting tired, so our voices were trying to get louder, and it was really cute. It was a fun way to keep us entertained and keep us busy while they were back getting changed. There was also this really fun moment when every member had a confetti gun. We talk about this, but we feel like Stray Kids is one of those groups that it's just a bunch of boys. And this was a prime example of them having these confetti guns and just spraying it everywhere. And at one point, Changbin and Felix were having this little battle between the two, and they were
it's really cute.
They were not directly pointing it at each other, but they were like pretending to point it at each other. But the thing that was cracking me up was that these confetti guns were blowing specifically Felix all around the stage. This kid was
like
having...
every time he would shoot confetti out of it, he'd blast back. It was oh my gosh,
so funny. In general, they were being very funny and very cute overall. We are going to go through each member and talk about some of the highlights during the concert for them.
So starting off, we'll start with our leader, Bang Chan. He is exactly as we expected him to be. Like what you see on live streams is what you're going to get at the show. It's exactly how he is. Like I feel like he is one of the most genuine idols because there is literally no difference between like on screen, off screen.
Yep. And he is also just very precious. He had the biggest smile and it was absolutely adorable. He is also the king of crop tops. And I love that for him.
He's never not in a crop top.
Yeah.
I don't know when it started, but it hasn't stopped since then.
No. And honestly, good for you, Chen. Live your best life. There was one time during the concert where Stays started chanting best leader and he got like so embarrassed but like appreciative, and he's just so pure-hearted, but he like redirected the chant and was saying it's because of the members that we're able to be so good. Like he tried to take the directness off of himself.
Yeah, and like share it to the other members.
Yeah. Next we're going to talk about Felix. Now Felix started off this concert by being an absolute flirt and we were talking about being in Atlanta, and he was like, where have you been all my life? That was how we got introduced to Felix this night.
And of course with his like deep voice, mixed, everyone died. Felix was one that had a solo during the show. They would kind of switch that up every concert or every stop that they went to. They kind of changed who was doing a solo. And he did Hollywood's Bleeding by Post Malone. We're like low-key Posty stands in this household.
Oh, 100%.
So that was really exciting.
Yes.
We will say they used auto-tune like to the max.
Yeah,
on
really
his
intense
stage.
auto-tune.
Like it wasn't subtle at all. Like it was very obvious they were doing auto-tune.
There was times during his solo too that his voice cracked.
Yeah.
And which is totally fine, that happens. Not a big deal at all, but because they were using the auto-tune, it enhanced it so much. And he knew it at the end of it. He was like, wow, that was
He was like basically making fun of himself.
Yeah. Also, Felix's visuals are absolutely insane. This man was as stunning as I expected and more.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, moving on to Han. Okay, Han was one that kept clowning Bang Chan the entire time, especially when they were trying to review their songs. He asked, I swear, almost every member what song they just performed, and of course Han kept saying they were performing like green lights whenever they were trying to get him to say red lights.
It was so funny. He was just being a dork in the best way possible. And so he was, the sexy song, Green Lights. Bang Chan is like, are you joking? Like, I cannot get a solid answer from any of you guys. And I love the way that Han spoke with such confidence in English.
Yeah,
like,
he did.
It was very impressive. And even though some of the grammar isn't correct, you know, because that's a hard language to learn, he just spoke with such confidence that no one would have second guessed.
I feel like he was kind of surprising in the way that he was a little more subtle on stage than I thought he would be. Because you know, we watch other videos of theirs in like live streams or variety shows, and he's very outgoing.
He's so chaotic.
Chaotic in the best of ways.
Yeah.
Yet, I don't know, like, it was a little more
toned down
than I was expecting. Yeah.
Yeah, still so funny and still very Han. He was another one that did a solo stage, and he did Wish You Back. And again, there was a lot of auto-tune. I feel like it wasn't needed. And when we're talking about this, I fully understand that autotune is a creative choice as well, which is totally fine.
And it can be used to enhance, like, we're very aware of that. But
right. And Stray Kids uses it a lot. Yeah. So, like, yeah, understandable.
I just feel with the solo stages and it being live, didn't need it. Especially with Han's song, he so did not need it for his voice at all.
It was a strange song to have autotune on. But during it, from our place on stage, we did not realize what was happening during this situation until afterwards when we were watching TikToks.
Yes.
So there was a point where it was a really bad voice crack auto-tune that happened during his song. And we were like, what on earth? Like, what is happening? And Han was looking kind of weird on the stage. He was like, what's happening?
Like looking behind him.
Yeah, and then after the song, Han goes and lays on his stomach towards the drop-down stairs underneath the stage, and it's like, someone's singing back here.
Yeah, like peeking down underneath the stage.
Yeah, and we were like, what is going on? And stays around us were confused too. They were like, what is happening? Like, what's going on here? We later find out that someone, I don't know if it was Chan or Lino or who knows, someone was singing his backup vocals underneath the stage with incredibly high autotune on, and it was so funny, but we later found out what that whole situation was. Also, just have to throw out there that at one point Han came out on stage with the cutest glasses I have ever seen in my life, and I just need that to be shared. Next, we need to talk about Lino. The first thing I need to say with Lino is that his vocals and his visuals are extremely underrated. This man is stunning.
There's always a member in every group where when you see them live, they look way different than they do in photos, and he's the one. His photos are great, but in person, he looks like 5,000 times better.
Oh yeah, he does. Somehow, if that's even possible. No, I still talk about it to this day, and it's been a little bit after the concert, and I am still shook every time I see him, because I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy is stunning. He was wearing this white button-up shirt, and these black slacks, and his hair was done like he was an actor.
Coming home from the office.
He's a husband. An absolute husband. A sexy husband.
I'm a housewife now.
All the chores done.
Dinner served. House clean. Like, I really, that was a husband.
Lino, husband. Calm down moment. Tears. I'm blushing. I am blushing. Lino, sir, calm yourself. It was interesting, though, on stage, it almost felt like he was shy.
I don't know, like, his presence wasn't as, like, loud or big as some of the other members. So I feel like there was times where, like, he almost got lost within the group. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just, I don't know, like, he just didn't catch my eye as often. And that's something that we realized, especially after watching TikToks, that our opinion on that and just our experience in general would have been way different if we were closer and could have, like, 100%. We would have been able to see, like, so many more interactions between...
And facial expressions. Yes. And everything is from our specific seats where we were, I think is how we feel, is why we feel this way. Not saying that he wasn't enjoyable. Like, especially towards the end, he got extremely playful, and I feel like his stage presence...
up more.
Yeah, got way more intense. There was one point where he was pulling all of the members towards him and doing this weird little dance where he had his arms up and was just shaking his legs back and forth.
He was, like, determined to get the other members in this, too.
He was calling them over, and they were forming this circle, just doing this little leg shake towards each other. If you've been on TikTok, I'm sure you've seen it, but that was Lino's doing.
And he also had a solo stage. His was This City by Sam Fisher. His was really good. He had really pretty falsetto.
He did. Yeah, which is very impressive. I don't think of falsetto when I think of Lino, but it was very good. And I think Bang Chan even commented on it at one point, if I remember correctly. But it was interesting with his solo. He was also having a little bit of vocal issues because he was messing with his earpiece at one point and it was a little bit off. So I think there was something going on with their mics. That is me completely guessing here. Regardless, he sounded great. It was a really good solo stage.
Our next solo boy was Sungmin. He covered another Post Malone song. It was from the most recent Pokemon movie, the live action.
I think so.
So whatever that song was. It's not the Pokemon theme song like everyone else expected it to be when he said, for a hint, he was singing Pokemon, but it was really cute.
It was. And even Bangtan afterwards was kind of he's like, I thought you were going to sing the original, and started singing the original Pokemon theme song, and the whole crowd was singing. It was really cute. We also have Posty stands. I can't believe we got 2 Post Malone covers. That's a win for us.
Sungmin stood out to us so much more than we expected.
Oh, 100% agreed.
His personality was amazing. He is so sweet.
And funny, and like...
He really was.
Draws your eye to him, to be honest. He is very fun. He gave off total puppy energy as well. And he was also being a little flirty at times, which good for you, Sungmin. Absolutely love that. And he said something at one point, like he was waiting for us or something like that. Just cute. Really cute. And one of my favorite moments of this concert happened with Sungmin. It was at the very end of the concert, and they all went down the stairs. They were leaving by end of the concert for real, not coming back for any more. They were really leaving. And he goes down the stairs, and all of a sudden this little head pops up from the floor and like a little meerkat, and he starts singing See You Again by Wiz Khalifa, the I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. And we were all like singing with him, so dying cute. Laughing. It was so adorable. And then he just goes bye and pops below. Next, we are going to talk about Hyunjin. You could see Hyunjin's body rolls all the way from our nosebleeds. That man's dancing is absolutely amazing, and we knew this going in. But
yeah, he was another one that he was exactly what I expected him to be.
Agreed. I was just really impressed that he dances very well to see from anywhere, whether you're up close or far away.
Yeah, that's true. Also, shout out, I love the peach hair that he had. It's a really pretty color.
A great length, too.
Yeah, it was. Next, we're going to talk about Changbin. He's everything I needed him to be and more.
He is freaking huge.
Yes. His arms are massive. Mm-hmm. Love that for us.
Yeah.
He was so confident on stage. Very strong performer. Yeah. Like, amazing dancing. Amazing.
Incredible. And his rap sounded so good live.
Yes.
Just everything about him, I was so impressed. I felt like we were friends talking, which we are obviously not in this stage. I know I wish too. But that's the kind of presence he gave. He talked so confidently and personably, and it was just very, very good.
And he had such cute interactions with fans. Like, there was a time where I was watching him, he was on the corner of the stage, and like fans were wanting him to like do a heart with them, and he did that. And then she like was doing another pose, and he copied her. Like, it was just like really sweet, like back and forth. I feel like he like really takes the time to kind of go around and do that, which is greatly appreciated. Mm-hmm. So during one of the best stages, Thunderous, the beginning, they only had like 7 of them out, and he comes up last minute from the stairs and like nonstop like, what's my name? And then everyone's chanting it, of course, like made us do it like 3 or so times, and then goes right into Thunderous and like transitions into that.
That is so hot of him.
It was so good. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, incredible. He adds so much to their stages.
Yeah. And unfortunately, he did not have a solo stage.
We could die.
I literally, okay, so the next day they were also in Atlanta, and I was like, I really like, no offense to Stays, but I was like, I really hope he doesn't do Doodle, because I want to Doodle. Like, I'm that selfish Stay right now.
Oh my gosh, we are obsessed with Doodle. That is one of our favorite songs, and we appreciate Changbin so much. We wanted to see that live so bad.
And so we were like stalking Twitter and TikTok to see like who did solos and what songs they did, because we knew they were changing up set lists pretty much every night at this point. I don't even know what you said. You were like, oh no, or just something, to where I came out in my face. I was like, did he do it? And you're like, yes. I like literally could cry on the spot.
So we missed Doodle by 1 night.
Literally 1 night. I kept nonstop watching it and getting so sad, and then I watched an edit and I was like smiling again. Yeah. That would have like made the concert, that would have been the cherry on top.
Oh yeah.
But it was still an amazing Sunday, and I ate it up. But yeah, I love that man to death. Spoiler, still Changbin bias. 100%.
Now, I had an interesting experience, and I came out of this concert extremely IN biased. That was so confirmed for me.
Which I'm proud of you.
Yeah, I'm proud of myself. This does not really happen to me. I'm not one to be super adamant about having a bias in a group. I really enjoy it, but I'm not really aimed towards that. And because my Stray Kids bias has been all over the place, and I've never gone into a concert and had a bias formed performed so much like this. This was the first time I entered a concert and came out with a very, very confirmed bias like this.
Yeah.
So IN, I can officially say, is my Stray Kids bias. And I was also kind of sad that he didn't get to do his solo stage this time, which he also did the second night. Oh my gosh, I wish we were at that second night too. But I just have to say, IN is so adorable. He has the cutest smile.
It's so bright. It's so cute.
He's so cute. And overall, I just need to say, I am extremely impressed with his stage presence and also his vocals. He was just very shocking to me about how incredible he performs live. And I want to binge all of his singing videos now. Like, oh my gosh. Now let's get talking about kind of our post-concert and our overall thoughts. I definitely wish we were closer.
Yes. We would have definitely had a different experience.
Yeah.
Would have been able to appreciate, like, certain members more, I would say.
Right. Their facial expressions, their interactions.
Yeah, like, there's a lot of stuff you miss when you're further away, but it's still very much enjoyable.
We did have a really unique view of the stage, though, so I'm not mad about it,
Yeah.
but I do wish we had different seats.
Like, next time, that's on the wish list.
Oh, catch us right up close.
Under the boots.
Under the boots. The more time goes on, the more we're wanting to be extremely close to so many different groups that I'm a little worried for our wallets.
Yeah, we need to be a little more choosy.
Yeah. Another kind of downside, I really wanted to see Cheese live.
That was what I was really looking forward to.
Yeah, me
So I
too.
hate that we did miss that with, like, set list change, but again, we got super bored.
We got super bored. I am so happy we got super bored, so I'm not extremely upset about that, but I do wish we could have seen Cheese live.
Like, another one we missed out on that we were, I guess, kind of expecting, like, after it came out was Taste, but we kind of discussed it earlier that, like, it was almost Taste versus Red Lights. I feel like they couldn't have done both. That would have been too much.
Yeah, right.
But so you kind of had to choose between the two, and with Red Lights being so iconic and everyone knowing they do like an OT8 version, you can't cut that out.
Right. Another fun thing that we were a bit surprised about is that stays are so chill.
Yeah, I feel like every fandom kind of has, like, I guess, like, stereotypes or just like an air about them.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I guess we thought I don't even know. Well, they were just really relaxed.
They were
like,
so relaxed.
Just everyone walking around, like, I don't know. It was
Yeah, I've
very
never experienced that. And like
chill.
The stays around us when we were in our seats, I need to give a huge shout out because we did talk about how the certain stays around us were getting up and moving and it was kind of frustrating. There was also some stays, the ones directly
right
in front of us were so amazing. They would go turn around and check and they're like, "Are we in your way?" And I'm like, just a little bit, but it's okay, like no worries. And they made sure to be so conscious of the people around them. And that was just kind of stays vibe in general. They were so sweet and so relaxed.
They
and
were.
That's very surprising because we've been at some concerts where the fans are not like that.
Yeah.
At all. They can be really aggressive sometimes and really, stays were very impressive. And Bangchan would be so proud of y'all. Now, afterwards, again, because we were smart about it, going to Atlanta this time, we went back to our hotel and there was a bunch of stays in the lobby and we were like, "Hey guys, how was the concert?" And we actually got into the elevator going up and there was this tiny little stay with her dad. And her dad was like, "Did you guys just go to the concert?" We're like, "Yeah, we did." Like, "Oh, so fun." And they asked us if we were going the next day.
Which at first I was like, how'd he know? I was literally holding my light stick box, my Changbin photo card slapped on the side of my bag.
Yes.
So I'm like, dead giveaway.
Yeah. It was so fun. We talked to them a little bit and then I asked the little stay who her bias was and she's like, "Ian." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, me too." It was so cute. Overall though, it was an absolutely amazing concert and we are so glad that we finally got to go after all of this time waiting. So worth the wait. And honestly, I feel like we got super lucky with the recent albums that were released for this tour. Like we got Case 143 and we got the whole Maniac album. So honestly, a win.
If you got through this one, thank you so much for sticking through. I know we said in the beginning, like, our energy definitely wasn't as high as it is now when recording, but we really still hope you enjoyed it.
It was an amazing concert, and I think about it all the time. I'm so excited to see them again. Also, while re-listening to this and editing this episode, we noticed a couple of things that we just want to address really quickly. First of all, I feel like we said two things about Felix. Shame.
Sorry.
Oh my gosh, like he's absolutely amazing. So I am so sorry about that. He was great during the concert, don't get us wrong. Also, the past couple of months have been rough. I said that I came out of that concert with a solid bias. 4 months later, I am exactly where I started in the first place of I have no idea. Felix has been coming for me lately. Ian is still very much up there, but just wanted to update
You're
y'all.
struggling with the two of them.
I am struggling so bad. Stray Kids, help. Anyway, that's all. Thanks for listening to The Future Us. Before we head out, we are gonna pop in for our song of the moment.
The song of the moment is
Like Crazy by Jimin from BTS. He just recently came out with his solo album. I could not be more proud of him. The songs are absolutely amazing. The lyrics are amazing. His music videos, the dancing. I am so proud of him, and the songs are so good. Make sure you go and check it out if you haven't heard it already, and stay tuned for all of BTS's solo releases. So far, they have been absolutely incredible. As always, you can check us out on social media platforms, including Twitter and TikTok at The Luna Pod, or you can head over to Instagram at The Luna Podcast, where we do all sorts of shenanigans, behind the scenes videos, and updates on our podcast release. So make sure you head over there for the most recent updates, or you can head over to YouTube and find us on The Luna Pod. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Oh my god. Listen, I'm supposed to be working here and doing stuff, but like, look. Keehan just posted.
Oh god, he looks so good.
What's he saying? Running a little late. Good night, everyone.
Good night, Keehan.
Good night, baby.
He looks so good.